Now, access to quality healthcare is a fundamental right. Yet, for many residents of Badagry's Riverine communities, it remains a daily struggle. Separated by waterways and challenged by limited infrastructure, thousands of people must travel long distances by boat to access basic medical services.
In emergencies, these delays can mean the difference between life and death. Our investigative reporter, Francis Esenwa, visited some communities and has this report.
In the 1800s, when the Christian missionaries arrived in what is now Nigeria, Badagry first received them. The missionaries brought with them Christianity, Western education, and new forms of social development. It was from here the missionaries celebrated Nigeria's first Christmas, built the first formal Western school, and completed the country's first story building in 1845. The structures left behind still stand as the earliest signs of development for Badagry. But for some communities separated by the sea, that progress never made it by boat to them. Across the waters are dozens of isolated riverine communities. Dadi Louis is a close-knit community. Everyone here knows everyone. They have to. They depend on one another for support. Help from outside is a boat ride too far. The only school in the community, Azuma International School, closed its doors to children living within the community.
Ìkan tó wá gba ibi tó ní òun máa kọ́ àwọn ọmọ nílé gbogbo kálukú àwọn ọmọlé àwọn jẹ́lé òsinmi gbogbo onígbẹ́ gbogbo wọn kó wọn síbẹ̀ oníkálukú inú ẹ̀ ń dùn pé àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké ń lọ léèwé ìgbà tó yá tíṣà ní owó ọkọ̀ ti pọ̀ jù wọn lè máa san owó yẹn.
And you know the danger of carrying all these young small kids to be crossing water. At time when by the time they enter the boat, all these apapa, all those what is called speed boats. They will just go and they won't slow down. They will just go.
In spite of Badagry boasting of many firsts, stories of loss and pain abound owing to an almost absence of government presence.
If you get any problem here, it's either you run to the other houses to give you a boat or whatever to cross to the other side. Sometimes when you are going on the way, you lose the very person.
It was not always like this. About 10 years ago, the government built a hospital at the edge of the community, and medical care was just a walk away.
Last year, hospital àti ìrìn yìí náà ni kí tó sọ pé mo rìn láti àtẹ̀síwọ́n pé tí ó bá ṣe pé olú ẹ̀ rí mọ́tò ń sìn pé bólú ẹ̀ bá ti lọ sí irú èyí tí ń sábà rí ọkọ̀ tó máa gbélé ọ̀sọ́dà mi lè sọ pé mo lè gun ọ̀kadà báyìí ní àfi tí bá rí mọ́tò tó lè máa gbéyàn lọ ká máa gbéyàn bọ̀ tó lè máa fi bọ̀ wá sílé.
The journey from Dadi Louis to Orocheti takes about 10 minutes. From there, it takes another 30-minute drive to Badagry General Hospital. In all, residents spend about 40 minutes just to reach the hospital, a facility understaffed and overstretched.
The reality is that Badagry General Hospital is serving a large population. In fact, from my 2 down to this place, this is the only general hospital available.
Sometimes ago, I have to engage the Commissioner for Health that this is what is happening in my area. So what the Commissioner put in place is coastal line, a mobile boat clinic that will be taking care of those people. So at a point, they are short of budget. So because it wasn't included in the budget, so what we have to do is just to go back and get money for them to start not only that community, all the coastal communities along the shore.
Every afternoon around 3 p.m., boats return to Dadi Louis, carrying the children home from schools. Just as we left without life jackets, the children travel each day without their life jackets, and sometimes in overcrowded boats.
Some boats, they get jackets, some boats, they don't get jackets. The jacket I get, you know, go with the students, where they inside boats, because the students is too plenty.
The waterways that once carried missionaries, Christianity, and development into Badagry now carry residents in search of healthcare, education, and survival. For the people of Daddy Louis, the question is no longer whether development reached Badagry, but why it never crossed the waters to them. Their hopes now lie within whatever community efforts they can muster among themselves just to keep their lives on this historic island alive. In Lagos for News Central, Francis Esenwa.
And joining us for this conversation, we have our investigative reporter, Francis Esenwa. Francis, good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you. I think every time I see you, I poke you and say, what's the next thing you're doing?
Yes,
what's the
do.
next thing?
Finally, you've seen it.
I have. So tell us about, what made you go all the way to this community? You said it's Daddy Louis? Daddy Louis. Yeah. So
That's
just
according to how you pronounce
see,
it.
Nigeria and names of places. Just tell us what happened. How did you get there? What made you do this report?
Someone reached out to the investigative unit and told us how residents were traveling on boats and how students were sort of trapped on the island. They didn't have education and they didn't have healthcare. So you have the island fighting a war on two fronts. People are falling sick. People can't travel. The woman that you saw, the woman on blue, that she has a leg issue. She had been going to the hospital all up until last year, when she could not pay the transport anymore. It was too much. She couldn't pay transport. She could not pay money for drugs. And we asked, okay, what are you doing? I said, oh, I just stay here, and she's resigned to her fate just like that. So we heard that and we decided to come and tell that story for them because it seems like they're isolated from government present.
Were you able to meet any local government chairman, anybody who's in charge of their area? Did they say anything?
Yes, we did. We spoke with the member of the Lagos State Assembly, the one that represents them. So the issue, according to what they said, is it's a budgeting issue. A while ago, he said they had boats, medical boats along the shoreline, but some reasons it didn't meet up the budget again. So now the people have now been left to now take care of themselves because they could not meet the budget. This is actually very funny. So if you cannot account for the people in the budget, then what are you accounting for? What are you building for? What are you trying to help the people with? So that was what he said. And so he also now said that it's going to be a speedy issue. I'm going to try to make it quickly. So in my head, I was going, oh, why you're trying to do that? I can still remember the woman. So funny thing is, a sad thing is, the woman with the leg issue has a son. The son is almost blind. We didn't know this at the time. So while we're interviewing the woman, he passed the camera, and we're like, oh, we're waving, trying to...
He couldn't see.
Someone just stopped us, said, he can't see. So you have in a house an old woman who can't walk and a son who can't see.
Oh.
And we have in the Lagos State Assembly, they are reworking a budget. So the timeline is what scares me. How long would they be able to do that before that woman and others like her have help?
There's even much more to consider. The children who are in boats crossing over, how long does it take them from... This is an island, yes?
Yes, an island.
Daddy Louis. It's an island, and they have to school. They don't have schools on that island?
There was a school up to 3 or 4 years ago. Now, it takes 500 naira to get from the Port Jetty to the island. So when we got there, they told us that...
How many minutes ride?
A 7 to 10 minutes ride.
Okay.
So when we got there, the residents told us that's a school that it was running up to 3 or 4 years ago. Then the teacher came from the mainland, that's Badagry town, and there were 3 of them. So that's 3 teachers, 1.5 going, 1.5 coming back, that's 3,000 naira. Teachers per day. The teacher said, oh, this is too much. It's a private school, this is too much for us. Would you mind, we have to go back, the students would now have to
come to
us. So then that's the problem. The students coming to you means
they will have to pay that 500.
They will have to pay that 500 each day. And you saw the children there.
It's not even the 500 naira that I'm even concerned about. It's the fact that these
life
kids had no life jackets.
When I was going, as we were saying,
Did you have a life jacket?
I didn't have a life. I asked the guy laughed at me. He laughed at me. Said, like, you're not ready to go.
No.
So we had to. Of course, we will go where the story is, but it was not. I was holding the boat like this.
Yes, that's another definition for fearless reporting.
Yeah.
This is the fearless reporting that Francis is doing.
But,
now,
no, I'm sorry, Queen, but
yes.
there's more to that. So this affects education.
Yes.
This affects Healthcare.
Yeah.
Because we saw the video of the hospital there. Where's that hospital? Is this the hospital?
No, that's the school.
This
The
is
school is
that
also
no
even
longer
paying.
runs.
Yes, no longer runs.
There was also the hospital with the entire roof off of that.
Yes.
Do they have markets? Is this a self-sustaining community?
It's a self-sustaining community.
But they don't have schools and no.
They don't have schools. They don't have people
hospital.
live. They don't have school, no hospital.
So that's not a self-sustaining community then, because that's just. So
And
the member representing at the assembly, what specific notes did he make regarding Daddy Louis? Was there any specific targeted approach for helping the citizens or the people of this town?
As government would say, as they always say, we see you, we hear you, we're going to work on that. Now, he did understand that it was not just that community. So if along those shorelines, there are also pockets of other communities, and they are also saying the same thing. We are just left alone. We're not, so that's the hospital that you were referring to earlier.
Yeah, that's the hospital.
Yeah, so funny thing is, that hospital was also functioning. The problem was, there was a night.
What's he taking out of the ground here? I'm sorry.
He's a farmer. Oh, that's also another sad. So that's also another sad reality.
Tell us.
The community is basically a farming community.
Okay.
Now, the community leased a very, very huge land, a large portion of its land to an international company that do crayfish. Now, to do crayfish, you need salt water.
Yes.
So as they were farming the crayfish, the salt water broke into the farms.
Oh, no.
So that's him fixing. So you see those pipes running down.
Yes.
So
That's
people now
irrigation?
create their own. So his pipe got burst.
Oh, so he's fixing
He's fixing it. So now he was closer. His farmland was closer to the water. So when the salt water burst into their own irrigation system, it spoiled their crops.
Yeah.
So they had to leave that whole area. So you have a whole section of the land spoiled already. So people are now walking, coming in. So we met him in a residential area where people are actually staying because he had been pushed back from his farmland.
Oh.
So it's just coming. So it seems they have no healthcare, they have no school, and now even their food.
With their food source.
Struggling with their food source.
I'm very sorry, Queen. Initially, I said that living in Badagry and these places, living in this kind of isolation is refreshing. I was wrong.
Just the air, maybe.
Just the
I
air.
think I wanted to ask, how many people are in this community? Were you able to find out? And this island, you know how it is now. Well, there's nowhere to put the red mark. Is it a government-owned land, or the people there own these lands?
It's their land. It's their land. They own the land. So as to how many people, it's quite tricky. It depends on. They told us it depends on when you're coming. Now, during the festivities, harvest, people come. Now, the land is almost abandoned. You have few people there. So those that are there are those that are the farmers, those that have land that they can't just leave. But for the young people, the youths, they've gone out. In fact, the contact person that brought us there, when they saw him, like, you're here? They accused him of abandoning them. Now, he stays in Badagry town. He left them years ago.
They were surprised to see him come back.
He said, yeah, they just have to come back to help see if anything. But people are leaving. Now, when you have a community filled with elderly and too young, that's very dangerous.
Yeah.
You have people who are too weak to do anything, and people who do not even know, that's young, who don't even know how to do anything. So there's that gap. So the people that you see there are those who have just resigned to their fate. What else can come?
I was thinking, and I can't imagine any other place that's best for this. I mean, we've lost our entire shoreline when it comes to this part of town, the island, all the way because of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu highway.
Coastal.
Yeah, coastal highway. So Badagry, I mean, it's a prime place. I've been there. It's peaceful, quite frankly. It's also a very big heritage site.
Yes.
Talking about slave trade, it's not just a Nigerian point to note. It's a West African, it's an African, it's a Black American. When you talk about heritage, that's where. So how come we're not paying all of this attention to this place, Badagry? Why is it still in the state that we find it? Why can't we? Why do you think, as a journalist, what you discovered since you were there, what challenges could it be where it comes to the fact that we can't harness its tourism potential?
So when you get to Badagry town is like every other place in Lagos. It's busy. Bikes are pushing you, people are moving, it's busy. But when you go to the outskirts, when you're about to board a boat, it's different. It's as if it's not like we're asking, is this part of Lagos? It is part of Lagos. And you think you find it somewhere, not to mention any other state, but you think you find this in other states that you think are not as developed as Lagos. But you're seeing here, a community that does not have healthcare, a community that does not have a school. They don't have light, actually. They don't have light. They don't have light. They don't have, so it's, fend for yourself.
How do they communicate with the outside world?
With the outside world?
By boat.
By boat, exactly, by boat.
So you take your phone to the other side to charge.
They do have a solar, this is as big as my phone that everybody just connects to, then you charge for the day, you go your way, come back again when it's dead. So anything you want to do, and you go by boat. When we were leaving, we saw people with wholesale foodstuff.
Yeah.
They had gone, they had bought.
You return.
And you said it takes 7 to 10 minutes.
7 to 10 minutes, yes.
So if it takes 7 to 10 minutes, it's been 3 years since they last have a hospital and education, and the government is saying, I see you, I hear you.
For a 7-minute journey. A 7-minute journey. So they said when it's election, they know how to find.
What happens during the elections?
Oh, no, exactly. It's not too far. 7 minutes is not too far. 7 minutes is not too far.
So you see the stickers and then
you see the photo ops, you see the cap. You say, oh, we see you actually. Would you?
So when you spoke to this local government, the man in charge, what did he say? Did he give you a timeline as to when this will be fixed? And now that this has come to the light of so many people?
Sadly, no timeline was given. What he said was it's taken as a matter of urgency. Now, when the urgent day will come, we do not know. But we're hoping, as we're talking about this now, as we've played the reports, it adds to that level of urgency. They begin to see that this is actually a serious matter. So it's easy to just quote stats and whatever, this particular shoreline. But when I got there, when they told me the story before I left, I said, okay, yeah, so what's okay, I understand. But when you get there, it's a different thing entirely.
Yeah.
Seeing the woman limping, she has a walking stick, limping to go and cook, then coming to give the boy that cannot see. It's really, really disturbing.
What would progress look like? What do the people want from their local government, from Lagos State government?
They have, funny thing, so when they said they had even given land to the government, said they had cordoned off this part. Okay, come and help us build a school. We've given you land. Just help us build a school. Just help us build a hospital. No response. That is basically what they're asking for: healthcare, education. I think it's as simple as that. It's not. They're not asking for too much. If you'd ask me, it's just take care of us. Take care of us. That's all.
Not even take care. I think the word is just give us the basic amenities since we're under your state.
It is our right.
But no, we have. Okay, I will keep it to myself, Masiro.
Well, Francis, thank you very much for the great work you do under our investigative desk. Is it over or under? Thank you for the job you do. And also, we'll continue to bring you over on here to highlight some of the good ones, the great ones. All of them are good. And we do hope that the people of Badagry town, Daddy Louis, we do hope that they get succor and that they get the response that they need from the Nigerian government, or at least the local government there.